You are good to go.
Hey guys, Dr. Eric here at Southtown Gym. We're going to do another quick video. We did one last week. We did a HIIT style training. Today I'm going to talk briefly about alactic training. So when you look at this, there's different styles of training. There's aerobic, alactic, and there's anaerobic. Last week we did the HIITs, the high intensity interval training. So we're really hitting that anaerobic system. So basically, to back up a little bit, your body uses energy in different ways. When you're starting out, the first maybe 10 to 15 seconds of a workout, think like a sprint or an explosive movement, you're being fueled by the alactic system. That's the phosphocreatine system. That's why your body uses ATP to fuel your mitochondria, which fuels your muscles. Check out my other blogs and videos that explains a little bit more about the mitochondria and how they work, but basically your body runs on ATP. Those are the energy molecules of your body. So the phosphocreatine system is for that quick burst, 10 seconds or so. After that, your body uses up that supply. That's why people supplement with creatine a lot. Now, it can only do so much, so you're going to burn through that quickly. If you're continuing into your workout, you're going to get into what's called the anaerobic pathway. Now, your body there uses glucose as well as fatty acids for fuel. It can be anaerobic or anaerobic, but again, it's mostly run on glucose. But again, it could be aerobic or anaerobic. In the beginning, once you burn through, you're going to be going what's a process called glycolysis. I don't want to get too geeky here, but basically your body's running off of sugar and it's converting that into ATP. If it continues, or if you're going at a slow enough pace, it can use a little bit of that aerobic pathway. It's using oxygen to produce more ATP. So you're thinking of the next minute and a half, several minutes of working out, sometimes up a little bit longer. Now, aerobic is where you're going more the longer, a little bit easier. We're not sprinting, think of jogging, doing an airdyne bike or something. So your body's basically creating a lot more ATP, but you can go a lot longer. Again, this is more your slow endurance training. So alactic, high power output, good ATP, but it's very short. You go to anaerobic, a little bit more energy production, a little bit less power, but still a lot more than the aerobic, slightly longer duration. Aerobic, you can go much longer, less power output, but more ATP production. So those are the three stages. So we did the high intensity intervals, which is great for fat loss, but again, we talked about making the body inefficient and mixing up the systems. If you've been doing a lot of that or too much, the problem is you don't want to burn out. If you're doing HIIT workouts every day or something, your body creates a catabolic stress in your body. You're actually burning yourself out a little bit. Your body's going to crave more sugar because it runs on glucose or sugar. So you might need to switch up the focus a little bit and switch to focus on most of your workouts on strength training and hypertrophy, and then maybe 70-80% of your workouts throughout the week, and the rest, 15%, do some alactic training. So I'm going to do a demonstration here, a little bit of alactic training, but it's, again, those quick bursts, and by focusing and switching to that, you're going to feel a little bit better. You're not going to get burnout, and you're going to train your body to be conditioned. Don't be fooled. When you first do it, it's going to feel easy, but that's the point. You should be, when you're doing aerobic training, you should be able to talk, carry on a sentence if you can't, or carry on a conversation. If you can't, that means you're doing an anaerobic. So if you're able to carry on a conversation, that's aerobic. Now the alactic and the HIIT training, again, a little more intense but shorter duration. So I'm going to demonstrate in a minute here, but basically to mix it up a little bit, we're going to work in the alactic training with strength training throughout the week. So I'm just going to show you the alactic training portion today. In the future, I'm going to break it down and give you a routine for the whole week. You can mix up all the different styles that I talked about and really maximize your muscle growth and your fat burning. So I'm going to demonstrate here in a second.